Hello and welcome to another edition of All Madden Gaming, the Scoop podcast with your host Serp. It is after the Super Bowl. We are actually in free agency one, so the first period of free agency signings. So New York Jets, that was it. That's who did it. New York Jets took the Super Bowl. With that team, they took the Super Bowl, and we're going to go over that. I want to kind of go into their team a little bit, maybe do a little expose, if you will, on the New York Jets, and take a look at the piece. Now that we're in the off season, and we've had our releases, we've had players retire, etc. I'd like to kind of go in, look at their team, number one, kind of look at what they're going with free agency, some of the bids that they put in on players. Because those are the people to beat this year. I mean, they won the Super Bowl the first time, so if there's going to be a different person, I mean, those are the people to look at, and the players and the team and the coaching staffs, etc., to beat. So I'll take a little look into the New York Jets team, where they're going in free agency, and then also we're going to take a look at some of the better free agency players that are out there, and maybe do a little bit of insight into who would be the best picks and who's going to get some money in a free agency. It won't be too long of a podcast, just for the simple fact that we're finished with the regular season. We've made it through the playoffs. The last podcast we went pretty in depth into the playoffs and into the yearly awards for season one. So this one's just going to be kind of a laid back, relaxed, take a look at the Super Bowl champs. Are they going to do it again? What pieces did they lose? What do they look to gain in the offseason? And then we'll also look at just general free agents that are out there and maybe some of the bigger ones that are being sought after or battled over by quite a few teams at maybe some higher prices. So we will get into that. So first of all then, we don't need any more of this right now. We just need the good old Xbox here. So we're going to go into the depth chart for actually we'll just go to the roster for the New York Jets is who we're going to be looking at here quick. They are the ones who took the Super Bowl. So starting out at quarterback, they got Sam Darnold. He's still there, young guy. He's going to stay. Did an amazing job, and it looks like he's only getting better. I could imagine that he's going to be there. 24 years old? He's it. He's there forever. That's their quarterback throughout. So, going to see a lot of him. He's going to be pretty high in the rankings every year for offensive players of the year, MVP, etc. You can be sure that he'll be there. He's only 24. So, halfback. What do we got here? Ty Johnson and P. Ryan. Yeah, Johnson, 23 years old. Pretty fast guy. Agility could use a little bit of help. Not too bad. Not much of a runner, not much of a receiving back. But definitely a solid running back for his age. Fullback we don't really care about. Now this is what we're looking at here. So Crowder is going to be out sometime soon. I don't think they like to get too old there. Oh boy, he already made it to... Wow. Yeah. What is he, 28? Oh boy, yeah, 28, 29th. He's going to be good, 29, 30. They're going to have him around. So it looks like Crowder, Mims, and Smith are going to be the squad. I would imagine they might go after a wide receiver in the draft just because their offense is so high caliber. Their defense really doesn't matter too much because they can put up so many points. It's just a battle to see, and they're going to beat you with putting up points on the board. So, I could see them maybe going for a receiver though, just because Crowder's getting a little bit older. He might lose a step next year, but I don't think so. He's still a solid. What does he got for short? He's still a really, really solid slot corner. Even if you were in the short routes, I don't know. They're paying a pretty good amount for him. It looks like. What are they paying for? What's his salary? Let's just take a look at his contract really quick. So yeah, they're paying 11.5 mil this year for him. So I don't see them bringing him back. If he's going to want, he's definitely good, definitely going to be a solid. If somebody wants to put some money in there for him, that's awesome. He's going to be a good piece to any team. But I don't see the Jets paying I mean, 11.5 million he's getting this year. I mean, he's going to want more than that next. I mean, he's going to want, 12, 13 million. I don't see them paying that for him. Not when they got Mims and Smith. So Crowder is going to be gone after this year if they're not trying to trade him already. They might just use him up this year and then dump him, and I guarantee they draft a wide receiver this draft. Tight end, they could use a little bit of help. I mean, but their entire team, look, I mean, it's young. Their entire team so far, except for Crowder, is like under 25. Wow, or 25 or under, actually. So, I mean, the speed on this tight end, though, oof, good catching. Man, there's nothing wrong with Butler. I know Herndon is good. I like Herndon. So they're good there. They've got Mekhi Becton. He's just an absolute beast of a lineman. They got Will Hernandez. McGovern's getting a little older. I mean, even their offensive line is just 25. This is just insane. John Franklin Myers, just a fine end. What is he? I think a run stopper. Well, power rusher. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't do... Well, he could use a little bit of help in the run stop game, but solid end. Quinnen Williams, super solid. So, I mean, they're just... This team is just disgusting. Really good run stopper up the middle there. Zuniga pretty much led the league in sacks. Mosley's getting up there. Maybe Cashman is really good. I like Cashman. I liked him last. Look at his speed. His speed is insane. And I think he's got good zone cover. Yeah, so they've got a freaking... They've got like a free safety at middle linebacker. A speedy free safety pretty much at middle linebacker. Huff is good. I mean, yeah, their team is just crazy. So let's see. Let's look at the secondary. Yeah, Javelin, he was up there for a lot of the yearly awards. So, I mean, they're keeping him around. He's fine. He's actually a pretty high-rated cornerback for his age. Blasson Austin, he's getting... They had him on the block, I think, for a while, so I don't think they're really planning on keeping him for a very long time. So look at them maybe to go cornerback and wide receiver maybe. They've got a safety. They got Marcus May, so they're solid. I could see cornerback, wide receiver, maybe tight end. They don't really. I mean, they're solid. They're super solid and set. So that's the Jets team. That's the Super Bowl squad, and I don't think they really lose much. I don't think they really lost much. I just want to take a look again here now. Let's take a look at any retirements. See who retired throughout the league. Who we lost. I don't know if we'll be able to... God, can we even check that now that we switched? I don't think so. We might not be able to... Oh, yeah, I think we might be able to. Yeah, okay. So Frank Gore... halfback for the Jets. I mean, nobody's going to miss Frank Gore. I mean, solid player throughout his career, but I mean, towards the end, he wasn't even a factor. Lost a right tackle for the Broncos. A defensive tackle for the Broncos. I don't think either of these were really anything big. Shipley retired from the Buccaneers. We lost Calais Campbell from the Ravens. Right tackle for the Ravens. Strong safety for the Ravens. Defensive tackle Tyson Alualu. He's gone. Alex Mack. Defensive tackle Al Woods. Danny Amendola. Okay, some bigger names. Adrian Peterson. I'm just looking for some of the bigger names here. Mercedes Lewis, tight end. Jason McCourtney. Julian Edelman for the Patriots. Cameron Wake. Titans. The Titans secondary is insane. Their defense is insane. I don't think they're going to miss Cameron Wake. Upati. Okay, so they missed. Okay, so the Seahawks got... Their line went down a little bit. Drew Brees, we knew it was his year. He's gone. Emmanuel Sanders is gone. Incognito. Jason Witten. Okay, Raiders. Deshaun Jackson. Delaney Walker is gone. Phillip Rivers is gone. Cornerback Jonathan Joseph, he was pretty old. He was 38, 37. He was up there. Right tackle for the Bills, Josh McCown is gone. Dominique Rogers Cromartie gone. Now, a lot of these weren't even on teams. These were just free agents. So, Terrell Suggs. Andy Reid took a break. He's gone. Nothing really. Vinatieri. He's gone. Ted Ginn. All right. So, anyway, those are the retirements. So, we went through the Jets team. We went through the retirements. Now, let's go take a look at what kind of matters here. Since we are in FA1, free agency 1, that's what matters. So, let's look at some of the top 100 players. I'm going to see what's going to go on here. So, Chris Carson. Is anybody looking for a halfback Chris Carson? Nobody's on him yet. He's 26 years old. What does he want? He's looking at... Man, what does he want? 40 million over 5 years? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Ain't nobody gonna pay that. Not for a 26-year-old power back. So I wouldn't imagine he's gonna get much going on. We don't really have anybody on Mac. Again, 25 years old, elusive back. I mean, not bad. What does he look like? Yeah, I couldn't really see many people going for him either. Just they want too much for that position, and at that, I guess the way that the league really kind of looks at speed, and it's a pretty speedy league and athletic league. I mean, you get some of these guys that are a little bit lower and more in the power game. You're not going to get too much. I mean, 5 years, 39 million. I mean, he's talking, man, close to 10 million a year. He's talking about the same. I couldn't see that happening. Richard Sherman. We got a little bit of interest in Richard Sherman from the Giants and the Lions. Lions haven't really made a move on it, but the Giants have really put it. I mean, he's pretty slow. He's pretty lost a step, but definitely a solid corner. I mean, you get down towards the end zone, or you get a short field, and this guy's going to murder you. But I don't know if I would trust him too much on the outsides anymore. He wants 11 million. It looks like the Giants, from where they're bidding, it looks like they're willing to pay it. I mean, they're in the green. They're willing to pay 11 plus. They jumped out that window. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if the Lions keep up with them or if anybody jumps in. But I wouldn't imagine too many. I think if the Giants stay where they are, they've got a pretty good chance of taking him. Offensive line is insane. Everybody wants it. Everybody's going for it. These guys are going to go for big money. Jensen's looking for 2 years, 20 million, so a little over 10.1 million per year. He's going to get it. And he's going to get more, guaranteed. So that center between the Bengals and the Bears right now, they're going to battle it out. If somebody else jumps in, it's going to get really stupid. So if it just stays Bengals and the Bears, I think it'll be right around where it's at. I don't think it'll go much higher, but if there's a third party or somebody kind of jumps in later on, before we switch over to FA2, the FA1 ends tonight at 9 p.m. or I'm sorry, 10 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, it's if anybody jumps in on these, it's gonna get bigger. Hilton, God, what does Hilton look like for a cornerback? 27 years old already. Is not very fast. Probably not going to get much on him. Somebody might, last minute bid just to kind of throw a low bid on him, just to have an extra depth on the team. But I don't see anybody fighting over him. Hightower looks like the Panthers jumped in. It was the Broncos and the Lions. Panthers jumped in and they flew out the window too. I mean, he wants about 10 plus million a year, and the Panthers are going to give it to him. So. Look for Hightower to. I mean, we've got the Lions, the Broncos who almost made it. Broncos and the Panthers almost made it to the Super Bowl, and their team is solid already too. So, Hightower's definitely going to be a solid player on any squad. He's already 31. He's only going to be there for a year or so, but definitely a solid. And he's got big hitter. I mean, he's gonna force some fumbles. He's got some good zone coverage. A little slower, but definitely a solid guy. So I think he's gonna get more than 10 million a year. Marcus Williams, Patriots need a safety, and they're going after him. 24 years old, solid pick. God, what does he want? He wants 550. He wants definitely 10, 11 million bucks a year. Patriots are willing to give it to him. I don't see anybody really going after a safety and paying that much. I don't really see that. So, I mean, I think they probably got a solid chance at him as long as they stay where they're at. I don't see anybody else jumping in for $11, $12 million a year for a safety. Ingram, he's a little over the hill. Man, he's speed, power, moves. I mean, definitely, man. I don't know. I mean, what does he want? Ingram. Oh man, he wants 16, 17 million a year. Woo! What do I think about Melvin Ingram? What do I think about Melvin Ingram and what he wants? I mean, if somebody could if you could bid on him right now, he wants about 16 million a year. If you gave him maybe 11 or 12, God, would it be worth it at 32? I mean, if you gave him a year at 13, 14 million, I don't know. He's still got some juice, man. I mean, he's still got some juice left in him. God, look at that. 88, 80, 86, 80. I mean, that speed is nice for an end. A little I wish he had a little bit more strength. I guess if somebody needed a... God, how much does he weigh? Oh, no, he's really light. Yeah, nah, he's just coming off the end. I mean, yeah, and for an end, he's pretty slow. I don't see anybody going after him, not for that amount. Sorry, Melvin, you're gonna have to drop that price. I would say if he was at 2 years, 20 million, 2 years, 21. If somebody would probably give him 9-10 million a year easily, maybe to have a nice edge rush, maybe on the left side or something, but I don't think so. Jarvis Landry, looks like the Jaguars are interested in him. He wants $11-12 million a year too. Would I pay him that? It looks like they're going to. Solid. Definitely a solid receiver. How tall is he? 5'11" only. Man, they're gonna pay him, huh? The Jags are gonna pay him 11-12. Gosh. Yeah, well, I don't know. Gronkowski wants bank. That's about 7. Giants are after him too. Man, the Giants are kind of in there. Giants are trying to get some older players though. They're going after Sherman. They're going after Gronkowski. I mean, what are the Giants doing here? I don't know, but they're gonna pay some money, and they're green. I mean, they're paying him too. I mean, 7-8 million for sure. They're bidding on Gronkowski and Sherman. They're giving him 11 or 12. Leonard Williams, solid pick. They're 27 years old. Look at that. How much does he weigh? He's 302. Oh man, that's a rush D tackle right there. That's a guy rushing right down the middle, on the nickel package or above right there. That's where you're gonna find him. You're gonna see 2 fast guys on the edge, and you're gonna see Leonard Williams and whoever else they put in the middle, and he's just gonna wreak havoc. Boy, and what's he want? He wants about 10. No, he wants 12, 13. About 13, 14 a year, and they're going to give it to him. And he's got 27, 28, 29, 30. So they're going to back end load that. So at the beginning, they're only going to pay, probably 8, 9, 10 for the first year. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. He's good for 5 years, easy. Man, that's I'd jump on. I could see somebody else jumping on him. I mean, especially after the podcast. If you're listening to this podcast, well, I think the podcast actually is going to be over by the time that anybody hears it because it airs tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see where Leonard Williams goes. So this is going to be interesting to see where these players go, because tomorrow when the podcast comes out, we're going to know already where these players have went. So it's going to be interesting. Leonard Williams, I don't know. If I had the cash, I would jump in on Leonard Williams and at least match the Patriots, unless they went 2 out the window. I mean, as of right now, where they're at, if they're offering them, probably 11 million or 12 million a year or something like that, and they're probably paying about 8 this year, I would absolutely go with that. I wouldn't go anything over that, because he's got 5 years, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I mean, if you can lock in a solid star development, amazing right end, amazing pass rusher down the middle. Now he's pretty slow. I don't know if I would want him anywhere else, but as far as a rushing D tackle, bang, that's where he would go. I think he'd be good at it too. The Jaguars again on the okay, man, wow. Jaquiski Tart from the 49ers. Looks like he's going to be a Jaguar. Cole Beasley, Brandon Graham. Older, but he's still got some juice. So I'm trying to give him a shot for the year. Good run. He's going to be a run stopper for me. And if he gets some sacks or he comes up the middle on you, I mean, that's fine too. But I mean, he's mainly. See, the Rams are in my division, so and they have Cam Akers, and their run game is amazing. So, I mean, would I normally pay, $14, $15 a year for a 33-year-old end? Probably not. Would I pay it if I faced the Rams and I think that it could help me in the run game? Yes. So we'll see. Higbee, he's kind of a secondary guy. Vernon's still out there. He's got to be getting. Let's check out Vernon. Good speed. Good strength. Yeah, Vernon's the same thing. I mean, well, he's 262, so he's just coming off the edge. Would I want him coming off the edge? 80 speed. Everybody wants more than that. Decent excel. Okay strength. If you needed somebody and you could offer him, I mean, he wants 12, 13. See, these guys are asking for too much, I think. I think they're asking for too much just because of the way the league works. It's too much for that position with those abilities and at that weight and strength. It's just too much. Nobody's going after Logan Ryan. Nobody needs a safety that bad. I mean, he's, he's not really high up on there. And now we're getting down to, Jared Cook. It looks like the Lions might toss a few bucks his way if they can grab him. The Lions are kind of some low ballers. You'll see the Lions in here putting the lowest bids you could ever possibly have on these players to see if they'll just leak out and they'll get them accidentally almost. I see them on a lot. Bears, Rams, those are some higher bids. Other than that, so that's about it. So those are kind of some of the main players that we went over. I'd like to see where these go. So it looks like the Giants are spending a lot of money on older people. It's 33 Richard Sherman. Free agency really isn't. The draft is going to be wild because free agency is kind of meh. I mean, granted, it is only it's 3 p.m. On Sunday Eastern time, and we've got until 10 p.m. Eastern, so we've got a lot of hours for people to jump on and see what's going on here. But it's been pretty quiet so far. Some higher bids on players that I wouldn't think. I think that they would start off with lower bids and then kind of creep up from there and maybe battle them out. But the Giants kind of, Rob Gronkowski and Richard Sherman, they kind of flew through there. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's about it right now. I just wanted to let everybody know where we're at, of course. So we went over the number 1 Super Bowl victory champions, the New York Jets of Season 1, All Madden Gaming. Number 2, we went into check out their team a little bit. The overall synopsis of the Jets is that they're super, super young everywhere, every single position. And then the positions that they aren't super young, they're old. Their old is 28, as opposed to the rest of the league look like old for everybody else is 32, 33. Their old is 28. All right. They're in a position where they don't have to worry about anything anymore, which is a great position to be in because they're set. They have their entire starting positions for the entire team are all solid players. They're all athletic players, and they're all 25 years or younger. So the free agency and the draft for them it's just bonus. I mean, if you get yourself into a position like that, it's going to be really hard to defeat these people. So good luck to everyone on the first round of the first free agency in AMG, and we're heading into season 2. And then that's it. And then we went over some of the more sought after free agents, which it doesn't seem like a whole lot. I mean, there's it seems like O-line, a couple middle linebackers and some safeties. It looks there's not really much going on right now. So I'd imagine that to pick up a little bit later on. But it'll be fun to see. We will know, after you listen to this podcast, we'll see where these people went because they'll be going there tonight. So this has been Serp with the Scoop Podcast, All Madden Gaming, and we'll talk at you later.